we literally just hit 20 subscribers, and to the 14 of you that I don't know, why? Why are you here? I don't understand. So I'm sure you were probably assuming, based on the history of my last few videos, that today was going to be a BTS reaction video. And you're not wrong, it was. Me and Monica went out to a park and we reacted to the dance video of Black Swan that BTS did. And then I looked back at the footage and there was no audio. So, oops. That's my bad. I guess I didn't have the mic plugged in all the way. I'm still learning things because I guess I'm used to cameras recording audio even if there's not a mic plugged in. Anyways, I'm going to talk about something else today because I saw an article not too long ago on the news. There was a waitress who works at Denny's is complaining because, rightfully so, honestly, rightfully so. She's complaining because she got left a $4,000 tip and Denny's is not giving it to her. When I was a waitress, I would have been livid. I also would just not have believed that somebody left me a $4,000 tip, but that's besides the point. So while reading this article, and there are many different reasons, the owner is like, oh, well, we think that it was a mistake on the part of the customer, so we just canceled the whole transaction. And the waitress is like, they wrote it. It's mine. They wrote it. Give it to me. Which in the case of at Denny's, or at least the ones where I live, you do like input the tip up at the front register, so it's not like there's much room for them to fake the tip. Yeah, either the customer really messed up or the establishment is being really messed up and not giving this waitress her tip. This whole situation reminded me of back when I was a waitress, and I'm not gonna say where just yet, just because I'm not comfortable putting them on blast like this, because not everyone that I've been to is bad. In fact, this establishment, because I've worked at two places of this restaurant, one in Pensacola and one out in Jacksonville, and the one out in Pensacola was really not bad. This is where this instance happened, but it's not bad. So, it was back when I was, God, how old was I? 19? I was 19 years old, out of freshman year, didn't go back for sophomore year. That's a story for another day. I had been working there maybe 2-3 months. I hadn't been there very long. And at this establishment, which might give it away, I don't know, I'm still not saying the name, you get your food, server leaves the ticket, you take the ticket to the register, and then you pay and leave a tip there, unless it's cash, which you just leave on the table. So that's what happened this one night, is the lady who I left the ticket for, she decided to go up to the front to pay for her meal, and she wrote $30 as her tip, which was more than 25%. And company policy states that if you're tipping more than 25%, the cashier has to ask you, hey, are you aware that you're leaving this much as a tip? Because you are. That's what you wrote. And that's what the cashier did. And the woman was like, yeah, totally cool. So he processed it and I got a $30 tip. Now my friend, who is also a server at this place, was dating the cashier. So the cashier tells her, and then she comes back and is like, oh my God, great job on that $30 tip, da 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 da. I didn't even know, I hadn't checked my sales yet. So when I do, I'm like, oh my God, I did actually get left a $30 tip. This is amazing. Everything went fine, got cashed out for the night, went home, bought myself an extra pack of cigarettes because I could, and then the next morning I paid my rent. Not, normal things that you do with extra money that you have is pay your bills. So that's what I did. And then that night when I got to work at, I think 4 or 5, I typically work night shift. Right when I get there, one of the managers comes up to me. Hey, you got that tip from last night? No? Paid my rent with it? Oh, well, the customer called and she didn't mean to leave that much for you. So we're gonna need that $30 back. She only meant to leave $3. So you need to give her $27 back. My face was, excuse me? So I'm like, well, I paid my rent with it. I don't have this tip anymore. I don't have this money. So they were like, oh, well, okay, if you make it by the time she gets here, then you have to give it to her. If not, we will reimburse her and then you need to pay us back. And when every single server in the back heard this, they were furious. Even the guy who took the tip took the check with the tip on it and was like, you mean to leave this? Okay, cool. He came to the back and was like, are they seriously making you give back that tip? And I'm like, yes, they are making me give back that tip. Oh, I'm getting worked up. Sorry. This happened years ago and I'm like, still angry. I don't make the money by the time the woman gets there. The managers reimburse her and I'm like, can I go give it to her? They did not let me go give her that money because I would have been like, I would have been faking. I would have been like, you couldn't have just let me have this one. I gave you immaculate service. That's a lie. I didn't even know who it was that I mean, I gave everybody immaculate service. It's not that that was a lie. It's just I don't remember specifically who it was because not every customer stands out. They would not let me go give her back her money. Probably smartly so, but I mean, I feel like she might have been like, maybe I don't want to do this if she'd seen my face. By the time I made the money back and gave it back to my store, I determined I was not claiming a bunch of my tips for that night because I had claimed the $30 the night before. I had no choice but to claim it because it was done by credit card. Therefore, it automatically gets claimed and it's already going to be making my paycheck $4. So, I mean, I guess this is it's not similar to the situation with the $4,000 tip at Denny's. Like, I understand wanting to check and make sure that the customer meant to leave that. As I said, at Denny's, I'm pretty sure if I remember right, you like tap it in on the pad. So homegirl like must have like as she like hit the 0 button if she only meant to leave $4. That tip honestly is rightfully that server's. And I feel like honestly that $30 that was left to me was rightfully mine because the cashier asked. He was like, are you aware you're leaving more than a 25% tip? Most meals there typically were around between $10 to $15. So, I mean, I guess it's possible. I mean, when you hear, oh, you're leaving more than a 25% tip, wait a minute, let me... Okay, yeah, no, that's fine. Like, I never leave less than $5 pretty much when I go anywhere. But that's just because I used to be a waitress for like 4 years or so, so... I always just give somebody the benefit of the doubt. You're having a bad day. Line cooks aren't working with you. Ex-po's being a dick. Like, I'm giving you benefit of a doubt, sweetie. You're not the reason my food sucks. You didn't cook it. I feel like that $30 at that point was rightfully mine, just like this $4,000. It is rightfully this waitress's, to be completely honest, unless the card payment didn't go through. And, like, that's what I could understand. But at the same time, like... the company said they canceled that customer's transaction because they assumed she made a mistake. So did you cancel the money that she paid for the food too? Because that wasn't a mistake. She meant to pay that, and that tip is part of that transaction. So you were just like, let's give this woman a free meal. I don't think so. Not many places would, but I digress. That was mostly just me wanting to rant about having one point been a waitress and having been... lost a tip, had it taken from me, unrightfully so. No, unjustifiably so. I don't know. Wrongly taken from me. Accept the loss of your $30, lady. It paid my rent. Okay. Sorry that there's no BTS reaction video. Me and Monica, I do believe, were a little hilarious, but it not as funny when there's no sound. So again, my bad. I don't know what I'm going to talk about next, what I'm going to do. I never know. All of a sudden I can just get a wild idea where I'm like, I can talk about this. So, if you like hearing crazy stories from when I was a waitress, I don't have that many more left. I didn't work anywhere where they served alcohol. So, things didn't get too wild. But, yeah, like and subscribe and comment for that. If you just want to hear about other weird situations that I've been in, horrible job interviews, stuff like that, let me know down there in that area. But yeah, here's the part that I'm absolutely crap at. I made Monica do it, and It was very funny, and I'm very bitter that it didn't have sound, because she basically just said, subscribe, like, do all the things, which this sounded so much better when she did it, so, yeah. So, if you liked what you saw, hit the like button. If you want to see more of it, hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment if you feel like it. And, yeah, I think that's it for today, this time around. So, yeah, I will see you next time.